everyone, and welcome back to Greta's Yoga YouTube channel. I'm Greta, and today we have a practice for the lower back. So this practice is going to be what you can do at your house. Maybe you're sitting all day at work and you just want to take a 5-minute break. You can just do a few of these poses, and it will really help release the tension in your lower back here, as well as build strength with your core, with your upper back, and then your thighs as well, because as we know, our whole body is connected and each part relates to a different part of the body. For example, if we feel like we're having tight hips, it could be related to how our jaw is feeling. We hold a lot of tension and tend to lock the jaw. So we can become aware of our jaw. If we're holding tension, we can release that and notice if that also opens up our hips. So let's go ahead and come into a meditative seat. Finding that comfortable position, closing the eyes if you feel comfortable, and just taking a moment for yourself. Maybe you have animals at your house, or kids, or other family members that make it hard for you to find stillness and quietness, but this is a great time for you to practice, because we may not ever have one of those perfect, serene, still moments. And so how can we use what we have and create a practice for ourselves? So checking in with the breath, grounding through the sits bones here, trying to draw the tailbone down, trying to release tension. A lot of times what happens, especially in American houses, we have really comfy couches, really comfy beds, and really comfy chairs, and we don't allow our bodies, our muscle, to build or get stronger. So I encourage you, the next time you're sitting at a chair, maybe for work, to try to sit closer to the edge of your chair with your knees bent, preferably at a 90-degree angle, your feet in line with your knees, and then don't lean back in your back rest, but try to use your back muscle, your core muscle, to sit up nice and tall, to have a straight spine. Just notice how throughout the day maybe you start to round the shoulders and start to bring awareness to how you can sit up taller and straighter, opening the chest here, becoming strong. Awesome. We'll take one more deep breath here. And then we can open the eyes, put a smile on, and we'll start by inhaling, arms up overhead, nice and tall. And then grabbing the wrist with the opposite hand and leaning towards the left, drawing down in the right sits bones. And inhaling towards center, grabbing the opposite wrist now, your left wrist, and leaning towards the right side, drawing down in that left sits bone. And inhaling back to center, reaching nice and tall, grounding through the sits bones, maybe looking up a little bit, getting that nice sunshine on the face. And then releasing the hands down, maybe rolling the shoulders. And then we're going to make our way to tabletop position. Tabletop is a great way to strengthen the back muscles and to relax the spine. So we can start by rounding the spine here, drawing the chin towards the chest, Nice and strong, pushing away from the earth here. Exhaling everything out. And then inhaling, dropping the belly here, looking up. And then exhaling again, rounding through the spine. And then going at your own pace, following your breath, connecting the breath with each movement, inhaling up and exhaling, rounding through to cat. Noticing how this feels in your back. Starting to slow down from our day's work. And exhaling one more time through cat. And meeting at tabletop here. Checking in with the breath. We're going to walk the hands forward a little bit, tucking the toes. We're going to push up, engaging the core here, using our hips to go high towards the sky, coming to downward facing dog. Go ahead and take your dog for a walk by pedaling your feet out if that feels good. Trying to spread the fingertips wide, pushing into the thumb and the pointer finger pads. Really drawing away from the earth, not sinking into the shoulders here, but creating extension between the ears and the shoulders. And then we'll come to stillness. This is too intense, we can come back to the knees. And then we'll work our way, baby steps, slowly walking ourselves up towards the top of our mat, coming to a forward fold. Let's go ahead and bring the feet about hip distance apart so we're not zipped up in a line here. And just let yourself hang here, letting gravity take over. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows and rocking side to side. This is an amazing stretch for your back and for your legs. It allows the lower back to relieve any tension here. It also creates space in each vertebrae. And if you do it every day, maybe you'll grow an inch or so. Letting the head go. Just letting everything go here. Feeling your skin melt off of your back here. Really opening up through the shoulder blades, through the rib cage. Noticing as we hold this pose longer, if you can sink deeper into the stretch. Knees can be bent as generously as they need to be to feel comfortable. And then we'll bring our hands towards our feet. Walk them up our shins, passing our kneecaps so we don't push into them. And use our hands to push into our thighs and our thighs push into our hands as we bring our elbows towards our side and create a flat back position with the neck turned down. Almost like we're creating a figure 7 here. This is a great pose. Build strength in your back, as well as stretch the thighs here. take one more breath and exhaling. Releasing down to our forward fold. And then we'll bend the knees generously as we inhale, root to rise. Slowly coming up, letting the head be the last thing to rise. Rolling through the shoulders and inhaling the arms up overhead. Bringing them to touch and exhaling, releasing hands to heart center. Beautiful. We can keep our feet spread hip distance apart here as we push into all four corners of our feet. And we'll tuck the tailbone down here as we engage the thighs, engage the core, round down through the shoulders, using our hands to push together and drawing our heart towards our thumbs, creating a gap between our shoulders and ears. Nice, strong pose here. You can bring the eyes to a close if that feels good. And then we'll bend the knees, bring our arms down to come up as we inhale, stretching up nice and tall, exhaling, hinging at the hips as we fall forward, melting the heart down. And again, we'll inhale, coming to a halfway lift. Maybe bringing your hands to your thighs here, maybe bringing them to the shins this time. Your version. Taking a deep breath in and then exhaling to release down, forward fold. We'll plant the hands here and step the right foot back, followed by the left, coming into a nice, strong plank pose. If this is too intense for you, go ahead and drop the knees, bringing the feet up to create a nice flat back here. We want to spread the fingers wide and we want our elbows to face opposite at corners of our yoga mat. And you don't want to hyperlock them, you want to have them a little bent. And then drawing the heels towards the back edge of our mat. Nice and strong here. And then we'll lower all the way down, coming to our bellies. Untucking the toes. If you have severe back pain, then do not go super deep into our next pose. We'll be coming into Cobra. So there's 3 different stages of Cobra with how you contract your back. So the first stage is we'll have our hands spread wide underneath our shoulders. We're going to push into the tops of our toes, and then we're going to contract the muscles in our lower back as we lift just our chin and some of our chest up. We're not squeezing the glute muscles here. Everything's really relaxed in the lower half body. And then exhaling and releasing. If this felt good for you, go ahead and do that again. Otherwise, maybe you'll push yourself up a little bit more as we open the chest and contract the back. If you start to feel any tension, go ahead and lower down some so you're not pushing into your stomach. If you feel good in that one, maybe on your next inhale, you squeeze the glutes here as you push yourself up nice and tall, elbows bent, fingers spread wide, chest and heart are radiating forward. Full Cobra. And then we'll exhale, release. So those are the 3 different levels. Depending on how your back feels, listen to yourself. If you go all the way up to full Cobra, you can strain yourself rather than really getting the full benefit of the pose. So you can stick with baby Cobra, totally fine. It gets the job done. And then exhale and releasing wherever you are. You can either tuck the toes and lift the knees and push up to plank pose. If this is too much for you, you can push yourselves onto your knees and then come back to plank pose. Nice and strong in our plank pose. We're going to exhale now to downward facing dog. From here, we'll plant the right foot down as we inhale the left leg up high, and then exhaling, rounding through the push-up position, plank pose, knee to nose, and then stepping that left foot through. Again, this is pretty intense on the lower back, so if this is too much, drop that back knee. Wherever you are is totally fine. Once we feel pretty good in this stance, we can melt the heart forward as we round through the shoulders, trying to create a flat back. Again, that back knee can be down. Wherever you are, we'll plant that right hand, and then inhale, twisting, bringing that left arm up towards the sky here, creating a nice full body stretch and twist. This is great for the lower back. Again, back knee can be down. And then exhaling, releasing. We're going to step that back foot, the front foot back, and we're going to go through a chaturanga to upward dog if that's in your practice, or we can lower to the knees, coming to our bellies, and we'll inhale for that baby cobra. And then exhaling, pushing up to whatever version you need of plank. Taking a breath, and then exhaling to downward facing dog. We'll go ahead and plant the left foot now as we inhale the right leg up high, exhaling, engaging the core, bringing our thigh towards our chest, trying to draw the knee towards the nose, and then exhaling, stepping it through. Awesome. Go ahead, feel out this side. Notice what's going on the hips here. If you drop the knee on the last one, you can do it on this side too. And then we'll try to look forward, maybe coming to our fingertips, if that feels good. And then wherever you are, planting that left hand and inhaling as you draw the right hand up towards the sky here. Nice and strong. And then exhaling, releasing down. This time we'll step the left foot out to meet the right, forward fold. And then we'll inhale, coming to halfway lift. And exhaling, releasing, forward fold. We'll bend the knees as we root to rise. Inhaling, coming all the way up, bringing our hands up overhead. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Taking a moment, checking in, noticing how the back feels here. We're going to bring our hands to our hips, and we're going to step back with one of the feet so that our legs are now wide, coming into a wide-legged stance, and our toes are in line with the edges of our mats so that we're lengthwise on our mat. You can adjust the video however you need to. I stepped back with my left foot just so I could face the video, but if you step back with your right foot to face the video, that is fine. So just noticing how this stance feels for you. You can have your toes slightly turned in so that we can really draw into the outer edges of our feet here. Your stance can be wider, it can be shorter, it doesn't matter. Whatever really feels good for you. It's easier to go deeper if your legs are wider, but again, whatever is in your practice. And then you can engage with the thighs here. Bring our hands to our hips. And then we're going to hinge at the hips, trying to maintain that flat back as we go down, 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 coming to that halfway point. Once we reach halfway, we'll look up forward and then drop the hands if they reach, and exhaling, wide-legged forward fold. If your hands don't reach, you can try to extend the legs wide a little bit, maybe coming to a block or having a chair close by. You can also try to bring your feet in some and bend the knees if that feels good for you. And then we want to release the head down, tucking the chin, and drawing our crown towards the earth to create a full body connection. So usually you want to have the foot to earth connection, which then goes out or through the body up towards the crown. And this way we're sending the crown energy back towards the earth. So we can try to walk our hands in line with our heels here as we fold forward. With the legs wide, it's a great stretch, just like the forward fold with legs together, to have on the lower back. You just melt into this pose, really just let go of everything. Really releasing. And then we can use our hands to push ourselves up to halfway, and then bring our hands to our hips, maybe bending the knees as we come up, rising with that flat back. Nice and strong. You can use your thumbs to push your tailbone down so that our hips aren't out, but tucking the tailbone, having that one long straight line of the body. Try to look up, look forward, and without looking at your feet or looking at the ground, we're going to try to heel toe our feet together. Notice how that feels, if you can trust in yourself. If you look, that's okay, just being aware of the practice. And then we're going to slowly bend the knees. We can look at the ground now, and we're going to come on to our backs. So get here nice and slow, gentle movement. And we're going to bring our knees into our chest and just rock side to side. Massaging out the spine here. And then we'll bring the arms out long, and depending on the space you have where you're practicing, you can cactus the arms by bending at the elbows. And then we'll take our knees over towards the right side. We can even bring that right hand to the top of the left thigh, and then gently brush our left ear against the earth, twisting the head. Look out towards our left. And then inhaling towards center, lifting the knees, lifting the head, and exhaling, falling towards the left side now. Bringing our head towards the right, and maybe grabbing that thigh with our left hand. Looking up with the head, inhaling the knees up. Nice and slowly, you're going to walk the legs out long, bringing your hands by your side. Feet hip distance apart as your toes are spread out. Palms facing upwards. Trying to tuck the shoulder blades together. Drawing the chin slightly towards the chest to elongate the spine through the neck. Closing the eyes if they're not already. And coming into Shavasana. Again, our beds are super soft and envelop us with this comfortability, but it doesn't allow for our spines and the muscles around our back to grow and strengthen. So lying on a hard surface in Shavasana helps rejuvenate those muscles, build strength in the full body here, and bring that connection towards the earth as we surrender in corpse pose. Stay here for as much time as you have, usually 5 to 7 minutes, but if not, begin to wiggle the toes and the fingers. And we'll bring our hands to prayer position, thumbs resting on the heart. Bringing in gratitude for this practice. Becoming aware of the different movements you have. Noticing our posture throughout the day. And growing with each movement, with each little awareness. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. Have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're practicing.